Okay, today we are going to be looking at 6-7, which is mixed numbers and improper fractions. Um, a mixed number is a number that has a whole number and a fraction. So if we have something like 3.5, that's a mixed number. Improper fractions are when your value of your fraction is bigger than 1, but your numerator is larger than your denominator. So say we have 8/5. That's an improper fraction. We're going to be talking about changing mixed numbers into improper fractions and changing improper fractions into mixed numbers. To change a mixed number into an improper fraction, what you're going to do is take that denominator, multiply it times your whole number, and then add it to your numerator. So you're going in this direction. You take your denominator times your whole number, and then you add your numerator. So we would do 2 times 3, and then we're going to add 1. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 equals 7. So our new numerator here is 7. Our denominator stays the same. Our denominator always stays the same. Remember that your denominator is telling you how many pieces something is broken into. So the whole way across, these are broken into halves. What I would suggest typically is not writing this. This was just to show you what's happening. If you want to write that little multiplication and plus sign in there, though, to help you remember, that's a great stepping stone to getting to be able to just do it without really thinking even. You just multiply, you add, denominator stays the same. So I'll show you a few more. The next thing is to change an improper fraction into a mixed number. To do that, you are going to take your numerator and divide it by your denominator. So we're deciding how many times can that denominator go into my numerator. So in this case, it goes in once and has a remainder of 3. What that means is you are going to have 1 for your whole number, your numerator is your remainder, and again, that denominator stays the same. Sorry, wrong number there. Denominator stays the same. So we will go from 8/5 to 1 3/5. Let me show you a little bit about why both of these happen, just to let you know why we're doing what we're doing. When you have a fraction as 1 here, what you're saying is it's 5/5. So if we're broken into fifths and we have 1 whole, that means we have 5/5. So this plus this would take us back to that fraction. 5/5 plus 3/5 equals 8/5. That's kind of where this is coming from. We're seeing how many wholes, that's how many times the denominator goes into the numerator, how many wholes we have, and then what's left over becomes your new numerator. Seeing or similar with a mixed number to a whole number, we're saying that this 3, this whole number, we want to change it into halves. So we know that with halves, this would be 1, but we have 3 of them. That's why we're taking 2 times 3. That's what 3 wholes would be. So 3 times the 2, which is our denominator. You could also think of this as 2/2 plus 2/2 plus 2/2. That would equal 6/2. And then you still had that 1/2. So if we added those, we would get our 7/2. Let me show you a few more examples going through these. So with changing a mixed number to an improper fraction. Let's look at 4 1/4. So we're going to multiply 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 more is 17. Our denominator stays the same. Let's also look at number 22. 22 is 12 1/2. So here again, we're multiplying denominator times our whole number. We get 24, plus 1 more is 25. 25 halves, that denominator stays the same. If we look at one more, about 10 4/5. So we're going to multiply denominator times our whole number. We get 50, plus 4 more is 54, and it still fits. Going the other way from an improper fraction into a mixed number, we'll look at a few of these. 9/7. We would say how many times does 7 go into 9, which is 1. What's our remainder? 2. And it would still be 7ths. So 1 2/7. If we had 14 halves, this one is a good point. How many times does 2 go into 14? 7. What's our remainder? There isn't one. You could put 0 halves if you wanted, but you don't have to. You can just leave it a whole number of 7. Let's also look at, trying to pick a good one here. About 29/11. So how many times does 11 go into 29? 2. And there would be 7 left over. So it'd be 2 7/11. I'm going to have you guys try some of these problems, and then we're going to move on to the next section that we're going to cover, which is 6-9. So the ones from this page that I would like you to do are page 191, excuse me. Let's do 15 to 39 by 3s. So 15 to 39 by 3s, I'm going to be posting 6-9 as well this week, so look for that, and I will see you all soon.